Let me put this in eco mode. Trying to save some gas. What up, guys? Welcome back to another video. I just finished taking pictures of my GLI. Look at this motherfucker. Gotta put this in sport mode now. Right now we're doing a 3-week ownership of this 2021 Jetta GLI. So far, I'm loving the car. It's kind of up there in miles. It has 69,000 miles. Obviously, I would like to modify it to make it a bit quicker because 228 horsepower factory is not enough for me. Even though it is pretty fun, it just needs a little bit more pep on its step. And with these cars, there's a bunch of aftermarket support. It's just because, I mean, it's the same engine as a GTI. I've been looking into what to do to it. I'm pretty sure my first mod is going to be intake. I just don't know which one yet. There's different price ranges. Fuck was that? It's on intakes. I could either do a downpipe or an intake. They're pretty much around the same price range depending on what brand you go with. But I'm not sure yet. Yeah, I'm thinking of just doing an intake just so I could get the engine sound. But other than that, it's a nice daily. It has a bunch of features, upgraded sound system, heated ventilated seats, lane departure, emergency brake sensors. What else can you ask for? Adaptive suspension. What else? Upgraded Golf R brakes. It's not my first high mileage German car, which a lot of people recommend you not to get high mileage German cars. But I feel like it all depends on how you take care of, how the previous owner took care of the car. My first high mileage BMW was like a small pop and shop dealership. It was a 328i with 170,000 miles, which that's the car that got me into German cars. Which before that, I wasn't even looking at BMWs or anything like that. But what I did love about that car was the handling. The steering felt nice. It was nice and stiff. Power wise, I mean, I think they come with like 230 crank from factory. And at that time that I had that car, there wasn't really much aftermarket support for those cars. Now that I've seen, I look them up here and there, and there is a little bit more aftermarket support. I've seen some that are supercharged, making 400 and something wheel horsepower, which is nice to see that people are still modifying the base model 328s. After that, I went to Benz and Beamer's bigger dealership in Scottsdale, and I had a 2008 BMW N54 with about 70,000 miles. But I owned that car for about 2 weeks when they asked for it back, which kind of made me feel some type of way, you know. I felt bummed out because I liked the car, you know, it was decent mileage for the year. So they asked for it back and they gave me my down payment back. And I was bummed out for like a week or two, and I just kept looking for cars. And then I saw a 2012 E92 N55 at another small dealership. It was a little bit higher mileage. It had 115,000 miles. But the car overall was really nice. It was a sapphire black with like gunmetal gray forged stars. I think they were 19s or 20s. They're a little bit too big for that car. And it had red interior, so that's what kind of sold me on that car. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go get it. And at that time, I didn't really know too much about Beamers. I kind of knew like the 335s were turbo cars and shit like that. But I didn't know much about like the N54 makes more power, but it's a little bit less reliable. So supposedly the N55, it's a little bit more reliable than the N54, but can't handle as much power as the N54, which I was okay with. After I found out, I was like, okay, it's cool, you know. The only thing that you can't beat on the N55s is the sound. I feel like the N55 is the best sounding BMW out there to this day. was pretty happy with the car. It had its issues over time. It was mainly my fault. I wasn't keeping up with maintenance and shit like that because I wasn't making that much money. So I was kind of struggling on keeping up with maintenance on that car. So for a good bit, I let it go. Like I let the car go. Um, I did replace the transmission. The water pump went out. Um, the control arms I replaced, and I think that's it. Oh, and also I messed up my transmission oil pan with the second transmission because I took a really tight turn, and I didn't see like a curb, and I went over the curb, and that shit, it hit like the undercarriage, and I think it punctured a hole to my transmission oil pan. Thankfully, I made it home safe, and it didn't mess up my transmission because that could have been another transmission I would have had to replace. I think that was pretty much it for like maintenance wise that I had to do on that car. Personally, I don't think it was too expensive compared to other cars. For it being a BMW, I got the second transmission used on eBay for about $700 plus shipping, and then also I paid some guy off of OfferUp that works on BMWs another 700 to fix it. So it was like between 1,500 to a little bit less than 2,000 to fix a transmission. And then later on, I started making like a decent amount of money, and I started fixing up the BMW little by little. My brother gifted me the VRSF catless downpipe for Christmas. I installed that, made the car sound super nice. I had that on the car. The BMS, the Burger Motorsports intake already came with the car when I got it. I bought a charge pipe, intercooler. Also upgraded my brakes from R1 Concepts. Continental tires for my last set of tires that I got brand new, and then they crashed into me. Also, I had an upgraded fuel pump, and then it had a tune, but it wasn't running right. For some reason, I would get on it, and then it would cut off and kind of send me into limp mode. And I would have to pull over, turn it off, and turn it back on, and it would go away. So I feel like it was like a fueling issue. At first, I thought it was the upgraded fuel pump, but I think the mechanic I went to replaced it with another one, and it was doing the same thing. So I never figured that out because the last drive that I did was I was going to the gym, I fueled up, and leaving the QT, some older guy in the F-150 just hit me on the rear quarter panel where like the passenger door ends and where the wheel was at. It was fixable, but I had taken that car to get an appraisal for a body shop so I could fix it. And then a rock hit my oil cooler, drained all the oil, drove it like that, and fucked up my engine. So it is what it is. It was a car that I really liked. I didn't plan on selling it. In my head, I was like, I'm just going to continue to fix it up. But things happen for a reason. And, but yeah, that's my backstory, I guess, on owning German cars. After that, I went with a 1988 Jeep Cherokee, which I still have. The brakes right now are not working on it, so the car is down right now. It's been down for about a year, almost. And honestly, I've just been lazy to work on it. And I work on it here and there, little by little. Other than that car, I mean, it's stick, so that's my first stick car, and I love it. I love driving stick. I could have got this car stick, but there wasn't any when I got this, so I mean, I'm fine with this DSG. It feels nice. I mean, it's faster, but I feel like a stick shift GLI would have been a little bit more fun, just hitting the gears and stuff. But that's my backstory, on owning German cars that are higher mileage. I mean, this one compared to those is decent. In my opinion, I mean, I don't really know too much about these Volkswagens. I don't know. I heard people say they're bad, they're not as reliable as other cars. I've seen other people say that they are reliable if you take care of them, do the regular maintenance, just like any other car. But for the most part, I haven't had any issues with this car. But as far as performance for this car, I've been looking around mostly on ECS Tuning, FCP Euro, just the regular German websites. There's a few other ones that pop up on my Instagram, which I don't know if they're how reliable or reputable they are. I'll probably have to look them up on YouTube to see other people's builds. But for sure, but most likely my first mod is going to be an intake, just to hear the whoosh, and maybe after that I'll do a downpipe, but I'm not sure if I want to go catless or catted. I'm leaning, I don't know, I'm on the fence on doing catless just because I don't want to deal with emissions and stuff like that. And also, I'm thinking about doing catted, but at the same time, I feel like I'm not going to get as much turbo noise as if I chose to go catless, And I really want the turbo spool noise. So, what I was thinking was going catless and just whenever I needed emissions, throw on the catted one, just don't sell my catted one like I did with the BMW, and then just do that. I'm not sure how hard it is to do it, but I feel like that's gonna be my best option for emissions and to get more of that turbo spool noise. And obviously, I also want to do an exhaust. Like, I want to make this car look nice, OEM plus. I want to do an exhaust, lower it a little bit. But the only thing about lowering it, I'm not sure if I want to do coilovers or just do lowering springs, just because I guess this car has adaptive suspension. So you put it in sport, it stiffens up the suspension for better handling. So I'm guessing if I do coilovers, I'm just gonna have stiff suspension the whole time. And it also depends what brand I go with to get a good quality ride. But I don't know. I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards just lowering springs and try to keep the functionality of the adaptive suspension. But yeah, I mean, I don't really want to go too all out on this car. I just want to do like tasteful mods. I don't want to rice it out. Just simple mods. Maybe later on, like I said, do like the Meteor wheel setup. There's a few wheels that caught my eye. A lot of people use the rotoforms on Volkswagens. I haven't really looked into them. I just seen a few, so I don't know what variety they have. So I might do that, or there's this wheel brand that starts with the K. I think it's KONG. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but I've seen some other wheels too, like on like Facebook Marketplace and stuff, and they look pretty nice. So, and yeah, I mean, cosmetically, I like how the car looks. It looks pretty sporty, and also looks like not too out there, But I do want to make it a little bit more aggressive, get a little bit more of aggressive spoiler, and the front splitter and the rear splitter. But just nothing too out there, just something tasteful. I was thinking of doing carbon fiber, but carbon fiber is pretty expensive, and I mean, the gloss black on this looks pretty nice with the white paint. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what route I'm gonna take yet. Um, we'll see. We'll see what catches my eye. But I've been looking to see what's the stuff that I could do to it. Um, damn, there's a bunch of traffic right now, guys. It's 4:03, so it's rush hour. Everybody's getting out of work, and it's hectic. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, like any YouTubers that have modified their GLI and they have their process on their channel and stuff like that, so I could take a look at it just to kind of get some ideas to see inspiration, to fix up this car little by little. And obviously, I'm gonna document the process on fixing up this car, oil changes, maintenance, and all that, just in case you guys need like a step-by-step tutorial on how to do stuff. Then I'll document it for you guys, because I'm not a mechanic. Like everything that I do, I search up on YouTube to how to do it, and then I try to do it myself. Sometimes things don't go the way you want it to, and it takes a little bit more than a weekend to do, or a little bit more than a few hours, and it's frustrating, but it's part of the game. You're not. Sometimes you don't have the right tools, and all that. But it's not the end of the world. Just you just find a way to do it. But yeah, if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment, and if you want to see the pictures that I took today, go to my Instagram, which I'll put a screenshot of it right here. And yeah,